Hello fellow YouTubers, this is Yuto Moses here for my 17th DVD and Blu-ray update. So let's begin. First one I got is Knights of Cabiria, the Criterion Edition and the Federico Fellini film about a prostitute in Rome who she's trying to find true love, but all her delusions seem to be getting in the way of reality. I have watched a couple of his films before, such as La Strada and 8½, and for La Strada I don't have the Criterion Edition, just the Essential Art House copy of it, and I really like that movie, and hopefully I'll enjoy Cabiria even more. Next one is Teeth, a strange horror movie about a girl who was born with vagina datana, which is another word for teeth in her vagina, and whenever someone tries to rape her or tries to stick it to her, the teeth in her vagina just chomps off their dicks off, and they just either die a horrible death or just get scared out of their wit. I know, it's a really weird horror movie, but I got this for very cheap, and I have watched it before I bought it, and I have to say that the actress in this, Chess Weixler, I believe her name is pretty good in this, and she looks really hot, and she looks remarkably like Heather Graham, if you know who I'm talking about. So, take a watch if you feel like it. Next one is The Safety of Objects, an ensemble drama film which follows the lives of a neighborhood who faces a lot of family problems, such as a mother trying to take care of her sick son and a guy who's trying to reach a job opportunity, etc. This, along with the next two films I've bought out of a movie rush, which is kind of similar to a sugar rush, only except with movies, and I just wanted to spend every little dollar I had on me at the time, and I bought this for only $1, so there you go. Next one is Venus, which also cost $1, about an actor played by Peter O'Toole, who's at the point where he can't do a lot in his acting career but just star in whatever film that he's needed for and try to pay for his rent until he meets up with his niece and try and rekindle the relationship. And I find Peter O'Toole to be a fascinating actor, even though the two films that I remember watching him in were The Lawrence of Arabia and The Stuntman, and I can't wait to watch this as well. Next one is Baghead, and this is a parody to all those indie horror comedy films and the making of them, and this is just about 4 friends trying to make one for themselves, and they're being stalked by a killer with a paper lunch bag over his head. And I only got this for $1 as well. I've watched it before I bought it, and I thought it was pretty boring since not a lot happens, and the only notable actor in this is Greta Gerwig, who you may know her from Arthur or No Strings Attached, but other than that, there really isn't much to go for to watch this. Not to mention that it's really hard to find to buy on DVD. Next one is The Stendhal Syndrome, the Dario Argento horror movie about a young cop who tries to seek out a murder she horrifically encountered and spirals out of control while trying to perform her duties. Now, I have bought Tenebrae a while ago, but I found out that it was scratched to shit, and it froze at the 12-minute mark of the movie, so I had to take it back and get The Stendhal Syndrome. Thankfully, this is this special edition, and I hope I enjoy it. Now on to the Blu-rays. First one I got is Hannah, the Joe Wright movie starring Saoirse Ronan, in a steelbook. And this is also the combo pack, and I've watched basically all of the special features other than the trailers and previews, of course. And I was quite interested by the commentary on it, and I hope it gets a lot more recognition even after its video release. And it's strange to say this now, but today they just released the new film starring Saoirse Ronan called Violet and Daisy, where she plays an assassin who isn't an albino. And hopefully I'll be able to watch that very soon as well. Next one is A Serious Man, the one directed and written by the Coen brothers. And I don't know how many more they have released so far that I haven't got yet, but I do know that Intolerable Cruelty is one of them. And I'll probably skip on the Lady Killers since it really isn't that good of a movie. And I really don't know much about this one. All I know is that the Coen brothers had a lot to do with it, and that's all I needed to know. Next one is Welcome to the Rileys, an indie film starring James Gandolfini, Kristen Stewart, and Melissa Leo. And I got this for $10, and I actually really enjoyed this movie, regardless of the critics' reviews that I've seen on it. The performances are great, and it's pretty grounded, and after all, Kristen Stewart does play a slut in this one, and how many people doesn't want to watch Bella turn into such a skank? And we kid a lot about that, and joking around how her career was going to be like in 10 or 20 years. She would be coming up to people being like, "Hey, I was in Twilight!" But seriously, I consider this to be a good movie. Next one is The Kids Are Alright. A lot of you must know about this one, for those of you that don't look up IMDb. And I got this for $7. Like the actors in it, it's a pretty good dramedy. And now that I've got it on high definition, I can enjoy all of Annette Bening's crow's feet and wrinkles. Gross. Next one is Insidious, the horror movie that came from the makers of Saw and Paranormal Activity. And I thought it was alright. Not scary though, like the critics have been saying. And people had been saying that this is the movie that actually had audience scared of. But I wasn't scared or even horrified by much of what I've seen in this. And that was probably because I was coming in and out of sleep when I was watching this, due to the fact that whenever I eat McDonald's, I almost fall asleep while I was watching a movie. So I'll try and not do that the next time I watch a movie. And the next time I do, I'll be giving you my full opinion on this in a review in October. Next one is Win-Win, starring Paul Giamatti as the lovable wrestling coach and lawyer. And Paul Giamatti is fantastic playing these loser-type characters in other films such as Barney's Version, Sideways, and even The Negotiator, where he plays a small role as the police department's rat. So yeah, if you get the chance, go watch Win-Win, because I think you'll enjoy this. And I got this for $10, by the way, brand new. Last one is I Love You, Philip Morris, starring Jim Carrey. And at first, when I heard about this movie being made, I thought I was going to hate it. And on top of that, Jim Carrey played a gay person, but after watching this, I just fell in love with it. And I would say this is Jim Carrey's best performance in his career. And he was based on a real character whose name was Steven Russell, who was arrested several times for identity fraud and stealing a huge amount of money from the companies he worked at. And people had been saying that comedians are very smart people when it comes to stand-up acts or talking about any sort of topic in a conversation. But as for films, they just seem to have trouble with them. Whenever they're acting in a film, it's just that they either can't act or it's the roles that they pick. And no matter how much of the film they may carry, it just fails overall. And it's very rare for a comedian to do well in a film career, but Jim Carrey is one of them that was able to do pretty well in it. And it's just too bad that the Academy hasn't recognized his work for this film, since his reputation of slander against it is pretty noticeable and unforgivable. So that's all for my update. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back later. Until then, this is Yuto Moses, signing out.